at conventions, the VAs and anyone gets asked, "Oh, can you say this line or can you do this?" Which line have you been asked to say the most?
Well, obviously the ult. The ult is the one that everyone wants to hear. But if I'm not doing the ult, I get a lot of play nice, play Pharah. And I get I've got you on my radar. And a lot of rocket jump. That sounds dangerous. That's a good one. But the ult, it's the justice. You want the justice? Justice reigns from above! Which is difficult to do sitting, because I'm sitting talking to you, and it's much easier to do that standing.
I imagine it's like the wide open mouth, like feet like 3 shoulder widths apart.
That's exactly how it is. Yeah, you have to do it with like your chest sort of. Justice reigns from above! It's more like that. But even then, I'm still sitting. I just have my legs appropriate and my chest is open. Yeah.
How did you make the jump from doing acting, I suppose, and going into voiceover work?
I started doing voiceover work, I think primarily because I have always been something of a character-y actress. Mm-hmm. And when you were younger and when I was too young to play the roles that I was cast in, it meant that I had to sort of change my voice a little. Mm-hmm. And so I always had lots of vocal strength. And when I first started doing terrible, terrible shows in New York when I was out of college, I had producers come after the show and say, "You have a fantastic voice. You really should be doing voiceovers, blah, blah, blah." And they'd give me their cards. And I started doing voiceover jobs with them, and I really liked it. It was super fun. And there came a point within about 4 or 5 years of that where I said, okay, where do I really want to focus my energies? And what I loved about voiceover was it didn't matter if I was 10 years too young or 5 years too old, or if I was too schnozzy, or if I had to, have a bigger chest or whatever it was that I was supposed to be, or be blonder or whatever. I could voice all of these different characters. And I loved the idea that I had that freedom. And also, I'm this crazy dresser, and I didn't have to worry about wearing the right outfit for the audition. I could if I sounded right, I could wear whatever I wanted and show up. And so I said, okay, I'm going to focus on this. This is super fun. This is great. And I had all these crazy voices and accents in my arsenal. So I started doing it, and it was moving along faster. And I said, that's where I'll focus my energy. So that's what took off faster.
On acting, your husband, Rob, is a wonderful writer-director, and he has a movie coming out in, I believe, September?
Yes, in the end of September.
And the cast list is awesome. It's got Emily Ratajkowski, it's got Gino Caffrey, it's got all these people. But on the cast list, playing, I believe, Emily Ratajkowski's mom, is you.
Yes.
What was it like?
It was very funny. What made it so funny was I had said to Rob when he did it, I said, okay, I'm going to need a little cameo. I figured I would just step in. And as he was casting the roles and I was helping him with the casting and choosing people, it came time to cast this mother. And he said, okay, I need someone who, would be appropriate age-wise, and she's got to be, very Jewy looking in Long Island, and we got to make her jappy from the 80s, and we got to do her hair like this, and we got to have her be this, and the two of us looked at each other and burst out laughing because it was so obvious that, of course, I'm supposed to be the mother. This is naturally, I've got to go be the mother. So he said, yeah, of course, and I started laughing. And he called the producers and they said, okay, then you have to send Jen to the casting director to audition. I said, really? I have to go? So I had to go audition for it.
Wow.
And which was so funny because I showed up and I did my audition and they went, okay. We didn't realize that you were auditioning. I said, yeah, it's because I'm his wife. And they went, okay, no wonder. They didn't realize I'd be coming in at that moment. And then we laughed a lot. But it was a fun time. It was very fun. And I'm excited for the movie to come out. I'm excited to see it finally like in theaters, because we had a really good time shooting it, and Rob has worked very hard on it.
Brilliant. So do we know when in September, or is it?
I believe it comes out the weekend of September 28th. I believe that's the most recent update I've gotten.
We'll have to look for it.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the conventions you've done and all the panels, what's the best question you've been asked?
Oh my God, what's the best question I've been asked? The best question, and I've been asked some really good questions. Probably my favorite question is when I am asked, what advice would I share with my fans who are like going out into the world and trying to find their way and figure out what to do out, in life. So I usually give a multi-part answer to that. And now I've got to think more. So the first thing that I say is usually that you should never treat your career like it's a delicate little egg. That, when I first went into my career, I thought that, if I mishandled things, or if I said the wrong thing, or did the wrong thing, that my career would break and it would all be over and I have to, pack it in or whatever. And your career is not a delicate little egg that will break. Your career is like a Tonka truck. And you should be willing to smash it into walls and get it dinged and get it scratched and get it all banged up, and know that you and your career are solid enough to take that. You should learn that no never really means no, except for in matters of consent. Career-wise, if somebody says no, that's impossible, it just means that they haven't seen it done and or they don't know how to do it. And it means that you're going to have to go outside of the common thinking or outside of this particular route, whoever it is you're speaking to, and find a different way. So don't take a no. And whatever you're interested in, that you should just throw all of the shit at the wall and see what sticks. That you can't edit. And I remember saying to myself, like, I'm a serious actress, so I shouldn't be doing, singing in a band or doing comedy or doing fashion things or whatever. And you know what? The way that my career has worked out has been by me doing all of these different things. So you never know how your career will come together. Nowadays, careers come together in such unusual ways, and people have created their own career paths. Look at DJ Khaled. This guy, I think that he spins a record. He's amazing. It's all based on who he is and what he's putting out into the world. Like, you have to just keep trying different things and see what sticks, and try all the things that you love. And you don't know how those things will come together to create the career that you want.
Wow.
And a new edition from today.
Oh.
This is from today. I actually, in an Instagram story, was saying one of the best things about being a parent, and being a parent is awesome, but one of the best things about being a parent is that every now and then you will give your child a piece of wisdom or a piece of advice that's exactly what you need to hear. And so this morning, when to wake up at the crack of dawn before it was light out to go fishing with my son, we were talking about something, and he was saying that he was really upset with himself that he didn't know to bring the net with him last year when he was fishing. He didn't know to bring the net, but that was so stupid. That was so. Oh. And I said, Mickey, you can't be upset with yourself or disappointed in yourself for not doing something you didn't know to do. Wow. You can't be disappointed in yourself for not doing something you didn't know to do. You can only be upset with yourself when you knew to do it and you still just didn't do it. So, and as I said it, I went, oh, wow, I needed to hear that. So remember, don't beat yourself up if you didn't know what to do and so you didn't do it and you did it wrong, or if you screwed up because you didn't know. Don't worry about that. That's okay. Only be upset if you know exactly what to do and for whatever reason you're not doing it. Do what you need to do.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's today. That's today's new thing.
Copyright
That's
it.
I have resonating in my ears right now.
Well, it's on record now, so we're all good. Something that I really quickly want to touch on that I can't believe I didn't ask you last time. So it wasn't like you were just born and then you instantly voiced Pharah and that was it. You've done a bunch of other VA stuff. So for a lot of people, you're not just Pharah. There are people who know you as Darth Zash and Ursa and a bunch of other characters, going back even on Celebrity Deathmatch, you were Pam Anderson. But those two, Darth Zash and Ursa, do you have a favorite line from either of those two that people ever ask for?
I do. I do. I mean, everything out of Zash's mouth is so funny. She's so great. She's so cool. But probably my favorite between the two of them would be Ursa has that wonderful line, "Remember who you are." And that is so resonant. I mean, that's the essence. That's something that my grandmother used to tell me. That's something that I tell my kid. That sort of encompasses everything. So that would be my favorite.
Amazing. How did you find Farah's voice?
I got called to audition about 4.5 years ago. And the way that she was described as an offense player, that she was a first-person shooter offense player, that she was Egyptian, that she was super macho, she was all this stuff. I thought that she was a villain. Oh. And so I did this villainous audition that I sent in and promptly forgot about. And completely forgot because at the time there was a code name for the game. It was called Prometheus for the code name, and Pharah had a different name. And I had no reference point, and there was no photo of her, or no picture, no drawing. So I just did this villain Pharah and sent it in and forgot about it promptly. And about 6 months later, I get called that I have a voiceover session on my birthday.
Huh?
For a game called Overwatch for a character called Pharah, and I had no idea what this was. And my response to my agent was, I didn't audition for that. This is a mistake. There must be somebody else. They must have found the wrong voice actor. And she insisted, no, it was me. So on my birthday, I went to the session, and Jeff Kaplan was on that call, and Andrea was on it, and Michael Chu was on it, and the whole gang was on it. And the first thing I said was, guys, I'm so sorry. I think there's been a terrible mistake. There must be another Jen Cohn in LA, another voice actor, and you got the wrong one because I never auditioned for this, and I don't know what you're talking about. And they all started laughing, and they said, no, it's you. I said, no, I don't think it's me. I didn't audition for this. And they played me this villain Pharah audition. And I said, oh, wait, I remember this. Oh, that's me. I remember this. Okay, that's what this is. Okay, cool. And they explained to me that she's not a villain, that she is, in fact, the Captain America of the game. And I said, oh, all right, that's different. And in that session is when we found her voice. That was when we narrowed it down, and we made her lighter and younger. And I got to see drawings of her then. I got to see, and I didn't understand what she would look like. And then I got to see, she was amazing. She was blue. She had armor. So, yeah.
Do you remember? This is a bit vague, and it was ages ago, so I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. But do you remember any of that original voice, the villainous Pharah?
Oh, I'm sure I can. Aerial superiority achieved.
Oh my
like
goodness.
It was something like that.
Oh my god.
It was definitely in that ballpark.
Wow.
It was, the fact that they were able to hear that and still hear what would become Pharah in it is kind of amazing. It was something like that.
Is there any personality traits that you think you share with Pharah?
I would like to think that she and I both focus on fighting for what's right and speaking out and defending those in need and protecting the innocent. And I'm much sillier than Pharah is. I'm a much goofier person than she is. I'm not, but I would like to think that her sense of justice and her sense of right from wrong is similar to mine, and that I'm inspired by her as a character. I mean, she's been an excellent influence, and the timing of me getting to do this character with things that have gone on in the world, and at a time where I've become more politicized, I'm grateful to be working on a character who's so righteous at a time when I have to be so righteous. And I love that she's just macho. I love that she's not concerned about being in like the sexiest catsuit. I love that she's concerned with her strength. I love that power and health and strength are more important to her as a character than like coquettishness. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that.
All right. What's the funniest thing you've ever said?
What's the funniest thing I've ever said?
Yes.
I can't repeat that on this.
Oh, actually.
Definitely not. What's the funniest thing I've ever said?
Actually, I'm sure you recall last time we did this, you said a few hilarious things and we ended up having to nuke the whole thing. We
yes.
Just couldn't. And
yes. You know what stinks? What stinks is that I have to like be at all careful and mindful of things that I say, because I don't know. I'm like a moth to flame. I like pushing the limits and you know, trying to be a little wacky with how close to the edge I get. But
egg, not a Tonka truck. How do you like get into character as Pharah?
For me, it's all about the posture. It's all about, like you said, about standing with my feet like squarely apart, a certain distance apart. It's about breathing a certain way. Generally speaking, when I do Pharah, I can't sit and do Pharah. I have to stand and do Pharah. Uh-huh. It's breathing and holding my shoulders out broadly. And holding my chin up. I mean, Pharah has amazing posture. Pharah is not slouchy. Pharah is not like, you know, slumped in a chair. She's not like lounging anywhere. Farah, everything comes from this Pharah has no vocal fry. Like there's no vocal fry with Pharah, which I'm grateful for. So once I physically get into her place, it's very easy for her voice to come out.
Amazing. If Pharah had a real job, what would she do?
She'd probably be a security guard, wouldn't she?
Oh, yeah, you're right, actually. I'm not certain.
I mean, I want to say social worker. I want to say blah, blah, but she would want to do something physical. Maybe she'd be a gym teacher. Oh. I think she'd be a security guard. I think maybe she'd be in the Secret Service. She would be a Secret Service agent is what she would be. She would be a brilliant Secret Service agent. That's what she would do. Right. Couldn't you see that?
Yes.
And she'd have a little earpiece. And she would like, you know, talk about, you know, protecting whatever, you know, the president or whatever. It'd be amazing. She totally would be Secret Service.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking. I have one more question.
Sure.
What are you most excited for in the future?
I am most excited for, at the end of this month, I am finally, after wanting to go forever, going to La Tomatina, which is a citywide tomato fight that takes place in a medieval walled city in the countryside in Valencia, Spain. It has been going on for 85 years, and it's like a 2-hour tomato throwing free-for-all. And I have been obsessed with this thing for about 10 years now. And last summer or 2 summers ago, I looked at when it happens because I kept saying, when am I going to go to La Tomatina? When? And it's happening this year in August on my birthday.
No.
So, yes. So I booked it, and I am going with my husband and my kid and my brother, my sister-in-law, my nephew, my parents, some other friends. We rented this monstrous house. We are throwing tomatoes on my birthday in Spain, and I am so excited. I can't even see straight. So that is what I'm most excited about in the near future. That's like
tomatoes.
Yes, I have to go buy goggles because I was told tomato acid will get in your eyes.
Oh my
And you
gosh.
have to bring all disposable white clothes because because everything has to be tossed afterward because you're just covered in tomato stuff and it's disgusting, including your shoes. So everything's got to be disposable. I am so excited. I can taste it. I'm so psyched. So that's at the end of the month.
How hard do they throw them?
There are rules. You have to smush them before you throw them because you can really get hurt if somebody throws like a hard tomato at you hard. So you have to crush it in your hand first. But I don't know how hard. I mean, I bet it's going to get a little rough if you're in the middle of the action. I'm really excited. I'm super excited to be coated in tomatoes later this month.
Amazing.
I'm most excited about that.
Thanks so much for catching up again. I know it's been over a year. We shouldn't leave it so long next time.
Charlie, I love talking to you. I'm really happy we got to catch up. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you. And everyone, make sure they see Cruz. Oh my God.
Definitely see Cruz. Follow me at Fashion Dilettante on Instagram, FashionDilettante. And I'm at Hey, it's Jen Cohn, JenCohn on Twitter. And go see Cruz at the end of September. And I hope that I will be at a convention in a city near you soon.
Yes. Come to England. Yes. People book her.
I want to come to the UK. I've been getting so many requests to come to the UK. I am jonesing to come. That would be awesome.
All right. Anyway, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Take care, Charlie. Bye.